So the Torah is very precise. Now, why is that important? I want to talk about names in the Bible. And you can't refer seriously to names in the Bible unless you understand that the Torah is mathematically precise. Because I can start giving all kinds of interpretation to names, and people will ask me, why do you give such weight to names? I mean, one time you use this name, another time you use the other name. Not so. In the Torah, every name has a meaning. And there are so many places in the Torah where names are referred to, related to. And we just start with the first chapter of Genesis. God brings all the animals to Adam so that he will give names to the animals. וייצר אדוני אלוהים מן האדמה כל חיית השדה ואת כל עוף השמיים ויבא אל האדם לראות מה יקרא לו וכל אשר יקרא לו האדם נפש חיה הוא שמו. So already in the first chapter, such serious reference to names, because names describe the essence of that which is named. And then when you go on and on and on, both in the Torah and in the prophets, you see relating to names again and again and again. We know that God told Abraham that he should change his name. He put an extra letter in the name. Instead of Avram, Abraham. He put an A in the name. Changing the name of Sarai, Abraham's wife. Instead of Sarai, Sarah. And on and on and on. The most extraordinary verse that I find in the Torah is in Exodus. וידבר אלוהים אל משה ויאמר אליו אני אדוני. I'll translate it into English, preserving the names of God. And God, Elohim, and Elohim talked to Moses and said to him, I am Jehovah. Now when you look at these two names in the Bible, Elohim and Jehovah, they have very specific meanings. Very specific meanings. And when I go from one place to another, the Torah, the prophets, they are so precise in the use of the two names, Elohim and Jehovah. What's the difference between these two names? Now, we have to be very careful here, because unlike other names in the Torah, when I said that the names express the essence of what is named, of course you can't say the same about God. So the two names are not names for God, but names for his leadership of the world. The word Elohim comes from force. El in Hebrew is force. Eloah, force. So when you refer to Elohim, you refer to the Creator, the one who has all the forces, right? Jehovah is completely different. Jehovah is the leadership of God in the area of randomness. This refers to morality, to righteousness, to grace. In fact, you have a certain chapter in Exodus where you have details of the 13 virtues of the leadership of God. Adonai, Adonai, El Rachum v'Chanun, Erech Apayim v'Rav Chesed v'Emet. These are the virtues of the leadership of God, which is concentrated in the name Jehovah. Now, if you understand these two names, meaning one name is God as a creator, Elohim, the ruler of all the forces of nature. The other name, Jehovah, which is the other side of the leadership of God, grace, righteousness, morality. Then we read again the verse, and God spoke to Moses and said, I am God. The two names are combined. And when you think about it, this is not self-evident. It's so peculiar. Why should God as creator will be also God as the source of morality, of righteousness, of virtue? You look at the gods in the old Greece, Rome, the pantheon of the goddess that they had. Gods had emotions. Gods were fighting with each other. They didn't have morality. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. This is a verse that the Jew repeat a few times every day. The oneness of God. It's repeated everywhere, again and again and again. So you can ask yourself, oneness of God compared to what? Two God? Multiple gods? What do you mean the oneness of God? And I believe there is only one meaning to this verse. The oneness of God means that Elohim and Jehovah are one.